Angel. We got to talk a little bit more about Angel Reese because I got a clip that I did not have access to from my last video with the whole Isabelle Harrison brouhaha, the rumble, and I got nothing. I mean, I got nothing but jungle. I don't know what else works with that. But I think it's an important context. We will see if the league does anything as they should, but I doubt they will because Angel Reese is protected by the league. She has exalted status because of her obnoxious display in the 2023 NCAA championship game. But I want you to take a look at something that happened before the incident that got Isabelle Harrison thrown out, which, by the way, shouldn't have been. It actually was a foul on Angel Reese. That's how wild this whole WNBA thing is. But I want you to take a look at what we've got going on here with Angel Reese and Isabelle Harrison. So those are the two right smack in the middle of the screen. Take a look. Sorry about that. I hate this media player. I got to start using the other one, but it's in the update, it defaulted this piece of junk. So there's Angel Reese, and then you're going to see Isabelle Harrison. Watch the forearm. Did you? I mean, that's a punch, folks. That is a punch. It happens so fast. Let me see if I can slow this down for you. Watch Angel Reese's left arm. Dude, that is brutal. That right there is an automatic ejection. I know you're all gonna think, "Oh, you're going crazy because it's Angel Reese." I promise you, so much less gets you ejected in the NBA. That whole head and neck area right now is so protected in these leagues because of the whole hysteria over concussions that this is an automatic ejection. Angel Reese should have never been in the game for that latest incident to happen for which Isabelle Harrison got thrown out and she should not have. This is the player. This is the player that everyone's loving because they hate Caitlin Clark. She is dirty as can be. She is maybe the dirtiest player in the entire league. And no one talks about it because they all protect her because of their hatred for Caitlin Clark. That's how absolutely insane all of this is. Folks, you're going to tell me that this isn't an ejection. This isn't dirty. I mean, Isabel's not even looking. That is brutal. I mean, that is actually probably worse than what Britt Griner did to Caitlin Clark that I talked about the other day that should have been an ejection and suspension. Angel Reese, I don't know that they'll do it, but if I'm Toronto, I'm making a fuss of this. Even if it's quietly behind the scenes, I am sending this to the league and I'm saying, yo, you threw my girl out for no reason. And this happened beforehand, and you are doing nothing. Angel Reese needs to be suspended for this play without a doubt in the world. But I find it very interesting that that was not talked about at all. No one brought it up, not mentioned. The announcers, no one. How the officials missed that right under the basket. And by the way, let's be clear. This is the type of stuff Angel Reese does a lot in order to get a lot of those rebounds. She misses a lot of layups. She gets her own rebounds. We all know that. I think she had a bunch of her own. She had 4 or 5. Most of those rebounds in that game were offensive rebounds, and most of them were off her own missed shots. That's just the reality of it. Angel Reese fans, you might throw hissy fits and yell and scream and throw your tantrums and all that and scream the isms. But that's just the reality of the situation. Angel Reese is a big body. That is all that she is. Well, that's not fair. I will add, I think because she knows it's all she is, she works really hard to get rebounds because that's her only claim to staying in the league. And it's the only thing the WNBA and the media can use to spin her being in the league because she's not good enough. Overall, as a player, she's not good enough. That is simply the reality of the situation. And then we got people we right after this game because it was an absolutely disastrous game for Angel Reese, 6 of 19, still can't make a layup, still can't shoot a layup properly, right? We still all know she's chucking it from below her waist. She just throws it up in the vicinity of the rim, hoping hits off the backboard and goes in. And that is how you end up getting articles like this. And this is from SB Nation, which is absolutely wild that they would put their stamp of approval on this trash article. Headline: We're having the wrong conversation about Angel Reese. Angel Reese has began the 2026 WNBA season. Wow. For the dream, doing what she's always done, getting better every year. Yes, you heard that correctly. In fact, I think I tweeted in response when I saw them tweet out this article that there was no reason to read past the sub headline when you actually put that she's getting better every year, when the one thing we all agree on, except for the Angel Reese cult, is that Angel Reese has not improved at all. At all. Like I said, she can't even fundamentally shoot a basic layup from right there underneath the basket. She should be spending hours a day on Mikan drills, which, by the way, is actually something that's kind of outdated and stuff. But at this point, for someone like Angel Reese, who can't even fundamentally shoot a layup, that's absolutely what she should be doing. Is she? No, of course not. We saw a clip, was it Unrivaled? Remember Lisa Leslie working with Angel Reese? Have you seen any of that in Angel Reese's game? Nope. Her three-point shooting, she can't even get the correct foot forward on a three-point shooting shot. She shoots, that sitting on the shoulder stuff. She's got this weird follow through with this flick of the wrist. It is terrible. It has not gotten better. Nothing about her game has gotten better. And here we have SB Nation with their let's put our propaganda piece out there to save Angel Reese, talking about how she's getting better every single year. One of the dumbest things I've ever read. And the article goes in and it says a whole lot of things just like that. When Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark entered the WNBA, many saw a potential rivalry that would carry the next generation of the league's fans in the same way Bird and Magic once did for the NBA. No actual basketball fan, none, zip, zero, zilch, nada, saw that at all. The Angel Reese cult saw that. No basketball fan saw that. Instead, we are at an impasse where both players are no longer the most obsessed about stars, and neither has an argument for being the best player in the league. Well, Caitlin Clark was just player of the week, and she is putting up MVP numbers. And by the end of the season, because we can already see the rebellion happening with regard to Stephanie White. Caitlin Clark could very well be the MVP. She will be top 3. I'm just putting that out there now. So this idea about not being the best player in the league is absurd on its face. In a way, Angel Reese should be having the inverse arc. She left the dreadful Chicago Sky and is now flourishing on the Atlanta Dream's top-ranked defense in the W while continuing to be the best rebounder in league history. And yet, instead of catapulting her pro stardom, her growth and improvement in circumstances feel like they have gone under the radar. Are you kidding? All we hear about is Angel Reese. They made it seem like her game against the Tempo was one of the greatest games ever because she had like 15 points and 17 rebounds, where I think 11 of them were offensive. At least half of them were off her own misses. She got 15 points by taking 19 shots, all within 5 feet, and only made 6 of them. By the way, 2 of 13 against Isabelle Harrison before Izzy got thrown out of the game because Angel Reese committed an offensive foul because she's a bull in a china shop. No footwork, no agility, no coordination, no quickness, no explosiveness, no fundamentals when it comes to shooting. What exactly does Angel Reese do when it comes to basketball? And of course, we're going to go right into this, folks. Let me see if you've heard this before. There's an undeniable discriminatory aspect to this. Sexism and racism are alive and well and targeting an outspoken black woman. It's one of the faces of a league built by largely black queer women in a time when all of those groups are under attack. It is unfortunately par for the course. There is literally not a single thing true in that entire paragraph. None of that is true. None of it. This is the delusion that normal people have to deal with nowadays in this culture, day in and day out. I mean, this is SB Nation. This is supposed to be a credible, legitimate sports media company. And it's putting out basically, I'm going to say AI. This is AI garbage. That's what I'm going to say this is. This is AI garbage. But the reality is a lot of fans fundamentally still do not understand Angel Reese's value. Even worse, they're no longer trying to if they ever did in the first place. I do know her value as a basketball player. It is nothing. Again, if it's something a team really, really needs, she's a role player that should play limited minutes that can go out and maybe help swing momentum a little bit if you're getting absolutely crushed on the boards. You don't want her involved in your offense at all. She's really, as despite the talk, not a very good defensive player either. And then, of course, it talks about how Caitlin Clark is far more engaging and blah, blah, blah on a surface level. For those of you that really know basketball, it's Angel Reese that brings value, but what Caitlin Clark does is very, very fun to watch on a surface level. And get this, because this goes back to what I was just saying, it's kind of setting it up a little bit. Part of this question or surface level aesthetics comes from the way that NBA fans have started to make the jump to following the WNBA. This right here shows you how childish, immature, pathetic, disgusting, gross, etc. that this is. This is a moron writing. This is a moron with an immaturity level that is off the charts because he thinks, oh, I'm going to get him. I'm going to hurt him. I'm going to say NBA. But here's the thing, dumbass. Women can play in the NBA. It is not actually exclusive to men only. Women can play in the NBA. So for all those women in the WNBA complaining about the money, go play in the NBA. You'll make a lot more. You're so good. Go play in the NBA. So therefore, to call it the MNBA is not only childish, immature, and stupid, it's inaccurate. Of course, when I look at some of the players in the WNBA, we could say the W doesn't belong there either. I'm sorry, I can't help it. Oh my goodness. Um, yeah, so anyway, I mean there's more, but I think you get the gist of what we're getting with the press because the other reason I bring this up is you think again how the media approaches their conversations about Caitlin Clark versus a player like Angel Reese, right? Still, here we are, year 3, and this is still the type of absolute gibberish that we are dealing with. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Y'all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe. I will talk to you later.